Hello, Ash Creek Eagles, students and families. This is Mrs. Wildfang, and I am going to spend the next few minutes teaching you about our updated dismissal procedures, expectations, and our safety guidelines. So here we go. And some important things to know. When we go back to school, we're going to have 2 sessions of in-person learning. Our morning group will end at 10 a.m. and then the afternoon group is done at 2:30. I'll go over that in just a minute. So the way that things will work for dismissal is that our bus riders will be dismissed first. And after our bus riders, then our students who walk and ride bikes will be dismissed. An important thing for our caregivers to know is that if caregivers are going to walk to meet their students, they should plan to meet in an agreed upon location off campus. We are going to keep things really tight and safe on campus. So it's important that we don't have additional people walking around our campus in order to keep everyone healthy and safe. So students who will be picked up by cars will be our final group dismissed. Every student will be given a sack lunch, a dinner, and a breakfast for the following day to take home. And caregivers must meet students outside and may not enter our school building. This is different than it was in the past. It's really important for families to know this. The other thing that's important is that for families to know is that our parking lot spaces will be closed during dismissal. So if you are someone who may have in the past gone into our parking lot, parked, and then got up and got out of your car and then waved for your students to meet you, we will no longer be allowing that because we want to make sure that we are able to keep everyone physically distant in order to keep everyone safe and healthy. Also, something important for families to know is that we only have our students for 2 hours. It's important that you have your after school plans finalized before you come to school. We will not be in a position to be allowing kids to make last minute changes, families to make last minute changes, because our dismissal procedure has to be so succinct. So we have to be really careful with that. Okay, so the next slides are just the same, but for afternoon groups. So same expectations and procedures, and students are released at 2:30. Okay. So a few things for families to know. When limited in-person ends, students are going to follow all the dismissal expectations and adult directions so that everyone stays safe and healthy. Before leaving the building, kids will use hand sanitizer, and then you're going to follow those social distancing markers on your way out. We will have adults stationed throughout the building to support students as they walk through the hall, and kids who go by car will be escorted by their teachers. Okay. So students, as I said, students who ride the bus will exit the building first. And students, what will happen is we will make a call and that the buses are here, and students will exit their classrooms and walk out through the front doors, and we will have adults again stationed throughout and helping students get on the buses. So bus riders will be our first students dismissed, and then students who walk or who ride a bike will exit next. So this is important, an important thing for kids to know as well, and families, is that we have these 2 exits for walkers and bike riders. There's the south exit and the north exit. Students will exit the same way that they entered at the beginning of limited in-person learning sessions. So kids who come from the south end of school will exit through the south exit at the front of the building, and kids who walk and enter through the north end of the building or come from the north, they will use this exit close to the covered bike racks and the covered area. So kids need to know that it's just reverse. So you do at the end of the day, you go out the same way you came in, and we will have adults again stationed throughout. There will also be a bike rack, or there is a bike rack right here for kids to park their bikes and lock their bikes up if they're coming from this end. And the reason we're doing this is so that we don't have kids crossed over. We want to keep kids physically distant at all times. Okay. So then, let me go over this real quick. If you're walking to the north, you're going to exit like I showed you. And then this is a little person walking out, and then this sidewalk leads to this sidewalk, and you're going to walk and use the crosswalk. Again, we'll have an adult here, and you'll exit through this north side of the building, the campus. Again, if you're walking or biking from this or to the south, same thing. We'll have the bike rack is right here. Kids will walk their bikes and scooters and exit. This is the direction, and then it'll lead you this way. And again, we'll have adults and crossing guards here. So again, it's to keep our kids from crossing one another as much as possible. Okay. And then kids that are getting picked up by car, these will be our last students to be dismissed. So kids that are going by car will exit again the same way that they entered in the morning. They're going to go out these doors and go to the covered area. We will have kids staged in different areas of the school, staged in different spaces. So we'll be using the covered area, the gym, and some classrooms so that we're able to keep our students physically distant. So kids will be taught all this, and parents will come through the pickup line, and we will call students. It may take a little longer, but we do have less kids. But the most important thing is that we keep everyone safe. Okay. So what will happen here is that we will have a group of students who are outside in the covered area. Again, we'll have some in the gym, and we'll have some in classrooms. But what we will do is kids will wait in the covered area, the group that are in the covered area, and with grown-ups, with adults, and then cars will come along just like we've always done and just like we'll do for arrival through this back loop. And you'll notice our car right here has a sign that will help the grown-ups here at school know who you're picking up. This will help us, if you keep it in the front window, families and students, we can look ahead and use that to call students and get kids prepared to come to gates for pickup. Really important that families display their pickup signs in their front dashboard so our staff can support. Though these signs were all mailed to families earlier, so you should have one. If you do not have one, please let us know and we'll get you one. But again, these need to be in your front window so that we can support a more streamlined dismissal. And again, remember that we are not having kids families aren't walking to pick up kids like we've been allowed to before to keep everyone safe. And then here's just a picture of our car sign. So make sure that you have it so that our staff can see it as you drive in. And that's it. So please just keep these things in mind. The letters that were sent home also outlines this so that families can get prepared. I've seen some families come and practice with their students so that they know what to expect for arrival and dismissal. We can't wait to see you, and we're just looking forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.